Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Guess what we're getting back to today? We are getting back to 60 days to attractive. We're just about to get started. We've got an hour to get through, okay? Committing to an hour with you guys, helping you get on track for what you say you want. This is what you guys say you've been wanting. It's to look better. It's to be finer. It's to be hotter. That's what I'm hearing from the streets, the internet streets, but I don't know, which is why today's going to be really, really special, really, really important, because today's going to be the status update. I need to know, it's been 3 weeks since so many of you guys tapped in. Where are we? Where are we on our getting fine? I think this progress report is about to reveal some truths for a lot of people. Okay, so let me see. First thing I'm going to write down here, status update. How are we doing getting to our goal? Okay, what's our goal? What's our goal? Are we remembering our 7 out of 10? How to get to attractive? Attractive is generally going to be our 7 out of 10. So if you're thinking about the scale of if I'm starting at a 1 and over here is a 10, right? We want to look at this line. All right, let me fix this a little bit. We've got a 1 over here. We've got a 10 over here, right? Most people are going to be somewhere, what? In the middle, right? Is that fair? Is that fair that someone's going to be in the middle? Okay. All right, we're going to be somewhere in the middle. We're going to be around a 5. Now, it doesn't mean everyone is actually a 5. Some people are lower. Are we agreeing with that? But the average is about a 5, 4. Okay. Okay, just had to send that out. There we go. Now, if the majority of people are right here, and we're trying to get to 7, okay, we have a little bit of work to do. But you know what the great thing is? The great thing is if we lock into the plan, 60 days to attractive, we can actually jump to a 7. Now, what is 7 kind of defined as? Let's go ahead and, if we're putting 5 as average, if I write it down, can you guys read it? I don't know. Okay, if we're saying 5 is average, right? And also 4, to be real, okay? This is kind of like where you're at, where it's like average, slightly below, you're slightly dustier than average. Most people are actually living right here. Okay, and you're just like, Carla, how can we really gauge this? Go out in the streets right now. Just don't, I'm not talking about a big concert in Las Vegas. I'm talking about go to your local car wash, go to the market, go look at people when they get off of work, when they get off of school, like on a regular day. Look around and try to find as many people that you can see that you're like, oh no, they look really good. Like they look really good. Oh my gosh. You don't. That's why if you ever look really good and you go out, the first thing that people ask you is, where are you headed? Oh my gosh, you look so good. Because it's not normal. Right? Right. Okay. So this is like dusty average, okay? Dusty average is 4, okay? Dusty average. But truly, these two, this is where people live. This is where people vibe out at, right here. This is the majority of people. It's not a majority of people who are like giving you 1 and 2 where it's like, sheesh, what happened to you, right? Like most people aren't giving you that. Most people are giving you average or below that slightly where it's like, oh, I can tell you really didn't try or care. I barely noticed you. That's the energy. Okay, so most people are here. Okay, now 6 is like, you try to do a little something, right? To set yourself apart, but not enough to be like, yeah, we all think you look good. Okay? So this is like average cute. Tried something, right? Okay. Some people say they don't mind getting to 6. I think, did I just read that? Hold on. Let's see. No, I didn't. Okay. What days do you go live? Sundays, and I try to go live 1 day during the week. I don't promise what day because I do work with clients actively, so I can't kind of control that part. Okay. But on Sundays, I don't take any clients, so I can come hang out with you guys. Right? So average Q. Now, this is the tipping point. 7 is the tipping point. This is where things start to change. 7 through here, life is different. Okay? Now, on different scales, of course, because 7 is like that introduction to it, right? Like when you think about luxury cars, like think about 7 as like maybe it's an Audi, maybe, right? Maybe it's like a BMW, but over here, right? We've got like the Rolls Royces, right? We've got McLarens up in here. So it's like the introduction to attractive. But this is going to start making the biggest impact for you. So that's why I'm trying to get you guys there in 60 days. And if you're thinking, is 60 days aggressive? No, because I've done it a million times. Go on my page. I'm sure it's not, you can scroll once, you'll see some transformations, you'll see some things that I've shared. A lot of these things are done in 60 days. When the clients are tapped in, it gets done quickly. Now, some of you guys want to lollygag. And so that's why today, it's all about the status update. I want to know where you guys are because it's been 3 weeks. And over those 3 weeks, I'm still getting comments on that video. I'm locked in. I want to be a 9. I'm like, babe, I'm just trying to get everybody to a 7. So that number 1, you're more confident. You always look put together. Your workplace is affected positively. Your dating life or your relationships are affected positively. Everything starts right here. Here's where everybody lives, so nobody cares. This is just like socially acceptable, cool, nobody notices you, whatever. Now over here is danger. I'm scared here for you, okay? Because over here is the side of life where people really feel the effects of not being attractive. So when you see people come online, they're like, I'm struggling and I can never date anyone. And, they come and they give you those stories. We know those stories, okay? There are iconic stories over the years of like people coming on here like, I'm ugly and I've accepted it, whatever. They usually live over here, okay? And so I never want you over here because life is harder here. You're fighting yourself. You're fighting your own confidence. And then you're fighting to just be treated average. Imagine trying to fight to just be treated average. I was about to say something. It's a no for me. It's a no for me, okay? And I want it to be a no for you. Now, we are talking about 7. So 7 is going to be our attractive. Let me go ahead and put that. Maybe should I put another color? Nah, I'll keep it. Okay. Now, before you can say you want to be 8, 9, 10, right? You have to get 7 down packed. Because there is a little bit of work that goes into being a 7, which we're going to reiterate and talk about again today. There's a little bit of work that goes into being 7. If you can't lock in and make that a second habit for you, then you'll never get over here and maintain it. I'm not saying just because you don't lock in here, you'll never one day, every 6 months pop out and look like an 8, 9. Yeah. Because you only do it when it's your best friend's birthday, when it's your birthday, and, your anniversary or something. Like, you only pop out those days. Any other day, if somebody finds you, they're giving you something around here. Because you never locked into this. So that your baseline is always attractive and you always feel good about being seen. When people invite you out, being on camera, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, you never feel like you have to hide because you already know that your baseline is way above everybody else anyways. Right? And then on those other select days when you want to really do it for yourself, do it on them, kill them. Yeah. At this point, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, what can't you do? But you guys start right here. That's what we're talking about, okay? Talking about staying right here. Now, what are we talking about today? Status update of this. It's been 3 weeks. By now, you should have results in the 3 arenas. Let me erase this top part. Okay? I'm going to put this part somewhere else. Because you should have status updates in at least one of the arenas. At least one. I'll put status update up here. What are the arenas? What are the categories in which you should have an update. There's three of them. Does anybody know? Does anyone in the chat know at least one of the three categories that you should have results in? What are the things in when we're measuring attractiveness that really matter? Anybody? Anybody know? If we don't know, well, then I'm not surprised that we don't have a status update, right? It's probably why we don't have a status update if nobody knows. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried about the chat. I'm worried about the group. Okay? So we've got hair, makeup, and clothes. Yes, hair, makeup and skin goes together. This conversation that I'm talking about is not just woman-based. I do the same thing. Go watch my most recent makeover long form on YouTube. I do the same 3 things for men. That was a men's makeover. Okay? It's the same thing for everybody. So we've got style, hair, okay, and skin/makeup. For women, that means you do have more to do. Yeah. And you have more to actually gain from this. That's the sweet part about it. That's the sweet part. That women actually have a little bit more to gain in this genre right here. Okay? Now, women, because you're going to be able to use makeup as well. I do not want any woman who's looking at this list like, okay, Carla, I'm locked in on the big 3, right? I'm in. I just don't want to worry about makeup. I'm not good at it. This is the time to lock in and get good. Sunday night, what are you doing right now? Do you have any makeup on? You probably don't. Why not? You're not going out. You should be practicing at home. Practice at home for a few more weeks before you feel good enough about going outside with it. You don't just wake up and become great at makeup. The girls were locked in. They would be Saturday morning, no plans. Try a makeup look. If it's ugly, wipe it off and try again the next day. Hello? Hello? Is everybody aware? Okay? Is everybody aware about what's happening? Like what it takes? Because all you guys want to do is talk about facial balancing. Facial balancing this. Facial balancing that. Every day it's another form of filler that y'all want to get. When you don't understand, it's not about whether or not you have more in your cheeks or more in your lips. If these ain't popping. Think about people that you think are attractive. You could probably name someone who's dark skinned. Maybe they're African and they're attractive. But then you also know somebody who's fair skinned and they're white and they're attractive. You can also name somebody who's Asian. It's not about features. Ugh, I don't know how to. I can't change what they've done in media to make people think it's features, but you know it's not features because everybody that you think is attractive does not look the same. They don't look the same. They have a different nose. She has a different lip shape. They have a different head shape, a different coloring. So it's not features. So right now, some of you guys might be sitting around putting money in your facial balancing account and you ain't got none of this. Okay? This is where we lock in. Because if you think about being outside, like me, 2 days ago, I was at the mall. And I'm at the mall all the time because I'm shopping for clients. You guys don't know, I've been personal styling for 11 years now. And I'm walking through and I see this girl and I look at her and I look back. I'm like, oh, she looks so good. I'm like, girl, you look amazing. I hadn't said that to nobody else in the mall. The only people getting compliments were me and that girl. You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys weren't locked in. And why was I giving her compliments? Her style was amazing. She addressed her body deliciously. I was like, ooh, does she have a date? Like, ooh, that's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, I don't know what she has planned, but she looks amazing. Her hair, she had like this like blowout with like a little curl at the bottom. That was beautiful. And the makeup, she was a blonde haired girl. Her eyes were popping. I was like, oh, gag. I don't remember what her nose shape was like. Did she look like she had filler? None of that crap mattered. It didn't even matter if she had bling on her nails. This is what people actually interact with and see. This is the stuff on red carpets that really actually matter. When you see a celebrity out and they've got like a paparazzi shot and you think they look good. Because they're dressed well, their hair looks good, their skin probably looks glowy with a nice little makeup look. We don't care about all the extras that they're confusing you with. The marketing is impeccable on their end. We need to lock in. Okay. Okay. I'm ranting. Okay? I'm ranting. Someone said, Carla, you're strict. Hold on. I'm strict because I want us to win. I'm telling you, it does not take more than this. It does not take more than this. If it takes you more than this to get to 7, you either were playing around or you're not listening. That's it. It's nothing. I don't care if you're starting from over here in our dusty average. I don't care where you're starting from. You can do this. I have had clients who started lower. Now, I would never show the person and be like, this person is I would never do that to a client, ever, ever, ever. I'm just saying, I've had clients who start lower where they're below average and their life experiences reflected that, okay? And so being able to still move them here. Now, in order to move somebody who's over here or even here to a 10, this takes a lot of time. 10? Do we know how much that's going to take? You got to now become obsessed with every part of your body, but you cannot even get there until you lock in here. This is going to require you to be strict. You're talking about, I'm strict. 10 is strict. 9 is almost as strict as you can get, but 10 is insanely strict, okay? I just want to get you right here so you feel the effects of what it means to be attractive in this world that honors attractiveness, but just won't help everybody get there. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say? Okay. Now, I'm going to keep talking about where we're at. So we've got the big 3. Now, I want to know status updates. Does anybody have status updates in these areas? Because by now, at least one should have an effect. Okay? If you've been focusing on style first, then you should have at least learned what your body type is and gotten at least 2 to 3 outfits that match your taste and your body type, okay? That you like and like you back. Yes? Okay? That's if you're doing this right. Okay? That's just starting. You should have, again, an update, a status update. It's been 3 weeks. If all you've done in the 3 weeks is favorite that video and then watch it one more time and then forget about it, we're not locked in. Okay? Now, hair. If you started, let's say you started with hair instead. Okay, great. Then you should know what your hair notes are to a T. What are hair notes, Carla? Hair notes should be your Bible when it comes to you ever choosing a hairstyle. Do not go off to a hairstylist. I don't care. You guys get caught up sometimes in like, oh, I have the best hairstylist. Oh, she does this style. Oh, she's really popular. She's always booked out. And do you know what to ask her for? Okay. Do you know what's going to make you look better? Because I know I've got plenty of people in this chat. At least one of you have experienced going to a hair salon, going to get your hair cut, going to the barbershop, going to wherever, and you leave and then you're scratching your head like, I'm not sure. And then 2 days later, you're like, oh, hell no. What happened? I'm wearing a hat for the next 3 weeks. Like, anybody's experienced that because they don't know their hair notes. Hair notes are actually the most important parts about deciding what hair you should be getting, not what you think is the prettiest. I'm not saying you can't like what you like, but you have to know, number one, your face shape. Does it do well with big hair, like high volume, or low volume? What makes it more symmetric? Because we know symmetry is the name of the game in all things beauty and attractiveness, right? So does your face look better with high volume or low volume? Okay. Does your face look better with short styles or long styles? Okay. Does your face look better with warm tones or cool tones, deep tones or muted tones? Like, you see how this is a science? Everything I'm talking about is actually a science. And people will have you like sold on so many fads that you get confused. I remember like for years on TikTok, every 6 months there'd be a new hair color. Ooh, I should try being a ginger. oh, I should try strawberries, whatever. Then I should try, like, there would be all these little cute names that you buy into. And then you don't even know if it aligns. I can look at someone's hairstyle and say, oh, that would look good on me. Because I know my hair notes. If you don't know your hair notes by now and you were trying to focus on hair, but all you did was buy some hair oil, okay? I wish I had a little sound, one of them little sound things. It would be a boo. That's not it. Okay, we need hair notes. And then once you get the hair notes, locking in on 2 to 3 hairstyles you're going to rotate because you know that the hair notes are right. And so you never have to panic about, oh, I want to switch my hair up, because you know what could be your next hairstyle. Yeah? Okay. All right. 2 to 3 go-tos. Oh, go-tos. Okay? Are we following? Are we following here, babes? Okay. Now, next, skin/makeup. If you decide to focus on skin/makeup, then here's some updates of where you should be at a 3-week mark. You should have a day and night routine down. Okay? Number 1, if you're locking into being attractive, you need to be washing your face twice a day. Yes. I'm saying that, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe everyone is doing that, but just in case. Just got to read the room. Okay. All right. Day and night routine down. Now, if your routine is facial wash and SPF, and then you go to bed, no. Because what are we targeting? Are we targeting hydration, hyperpigmentation, fine lines, scars? We need to be actually helping our skin turn over, produce more, glow more, not just bare minimum of hygiene and then putting a moisturizer. So if you don't have 5 steps in your routines, then there's no toner, there's no serum, there's no essence. There might not be much in there, right? And so you might be wondering, wow, how are they getting that skin? Well, you're only showing up for like 20% of the whole thing. Where's the rest? Okay, so that's where you should be in the skin. And that, again, men and women. Everything I've said so far is men and women. The only difference is makeup. Makeup. Ladies, I've said we need 2 looks down pat. At this point, if you're here, you should have 1 look down. You might not have the other one down. That's okay. You're just getting started here. Now, I recognize a few of the names in here today. Does anyone in here have some status updates for these things? I will wait. I will wait because if you guys are locking in the way that you guys say in the comments, oh God, I want this. It's a lot of hype, and I'm trying to support you guys in the lives. Some of you guys are trailing behind. If you're trailing behind and you haven't done anything and you keep watching and thinking about it, you probably need to sign up for an image audit. You probably need an image audit because maybe you don't know which one you really need to lean into. For some people, it is all of them. Yeah. No, because you're probably over here maybe a little lower and you really don't do much. Yep. You know, I've had people who they haven't cut their hair, done their hair in 15 years. They've just been kind of like doing the bare minimum, okay, what they can do at home. Style, they just order whatever they can get overnight from Amazon. They don't really care too much as long as it kind of matches or it feels comfortable, right? They don't care about their body type, how to come across as looking good, put together. They don't care about their colors, nothing, nada. When it comes to skin and makeup, again, what were they doing? Facial wash and the SPF, if that. Some people weren't even doing the SPF, right? So when I'm telling you that we have some range, we have places to start from, it's because some people are starting a little lower. Now, some people actually have maybe skin and makeup down. Maybe they've been practicing that for a while. They got it down. But in the image audit, I'm able to help you guys more one-on-one and seeing where are you starting from and how can we get you there and what should we focus on, okay? And I know the cheat code that a lot of people like to go to here is hair. A lot of people try to cheat the system, and you can't cheat the system. What do I mean by that? They're like, okay, Carla, I hear you. You know, I definitely want to be 60 days to attractive. I'm going to actually go ahead and book a hair appointment. Okay. And do you know these? Do you know your hair notes? Oh, no, but I have this hair studio that I've been looking at for a while. So you're going to go in there and tell her what? You don't know? Okay, so then you need to calm down, because what people are doing is they're picking to do hair first because it's a very quick change, right? You can go in there, 3 hours later, something has changed, right? But really, if you don't know this, then you're wasting your time and you can't cheat the system. You've been trying to cheat the system this whole time, and notice how you still stuck in the zone. No, okay? So if you're still lost here, we need to lock into that. Now, let's see here. Somebody said, I need help in all areas. Alyssa said, I need help in all areas. Okay, great. At least we are recognizing that. So that means that all of these should be some status updates for you. If you don't have anything in these arenas, it's either because you don't have the time to do it, or you probably still don't know how to get to these. Okay? Somebody says, I need style. I need style. Yeah, okay. Style is a really, really, really big one. Okay? We're going to keep breaking down style as we go through today's live. As you guys know, I'm a personal stylist. So I will talk about all of these things, especially style, to no end. Okay? Now, I also need a system for finding hair I can maintain and afford. Yes, that's very important. That's very important. Don't get yourself locked in to a hairstyle that you can't maintain. So it only looks good when your hairstylist does it. And when you go home 2 nights later, it's already And it's like you got to wait till you go back again. That's horrible. We've got to find a hairstyle we can maintain. But you know what's going to help you do that? Locking into your hair notes first, not the other way around. So not saying, oh, I saw this hairstyle on this person. It looks so good. I'm going to do it. It's like, okay, no, first, let's go to hair notes. Let's figure out what your hair notes are. It could be that you look good in low volume, long styles, and you look really great with a middle part, a little bit of face framing in copper and brown tones. Great. Now you've got hair notes. All you've got to do now is have hairstyles within that proposition. That could be straight hair, curly hair, braids. That could be anything within those components, right? But if you do that first and then you back up to, okay, now that I put out all the options that could fall within these hair notes, which ones can I actually continue to do at home? You see how it's like reverse engineering it instead of being like, oh, that hair is pretty, I'm going to book her to do it like that. And you don't know what you're doing. And so you only look good fresh out of the chair. That's not going to help us stay right here. It's going to have you leaning back over here, and then you're not going to care about the rest. And you're just going to kind of be sloppy and sad about it until you get your hair done again, and then you're happy for 3 days. It's just a weird cycle, okay? And we don't really want that. So there's that. So let's see. Based on where we're at right now, we're talking about attractiveness. Now, I'm not hearing any status updates, and you guys are stressing me out, okay? Now, let's continue to talk about style. I'm going to erase this. Okay? Now, when it comes to style, there are several factors that go into people that you think have great style. Okay? And people that you think have great style, they usually have great personal style because they've learned to master the art of a gumbo. Okay? Let's put personal style. Personal style. Now, in order to have great personal style, you want to create a gumbo. Has anyone ever had gumbo? Right? Gumbo. You're gonna in gumbo. It's not just like a regular soup, and you really can't just call it like a rice mix. It's got a little bit of everything in there, and when it's combined, you taste it and you're getting a little bit of flavors from everything, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. That's good personal style. So what do I mean by that? Well, the client I'm shopping for today, I shopped for earlier, I'm going to use her style as an example, okay? Now, her style is not just going to be one word. Many people will say, oh, I can't figure out my style. Is it preppy? Is it this? Is it old money? Old money isn't actually a style. It's not a style. Because if you're just old money, then you don't have enough depth to your style. Right now, you're just stuck in aesthetic mode. So when you're not going online to see what the other old money people are wearing, you don't know what to wear. So you're kind of just copying looks. People who you really like their style, they have their own personal style, right? So number one, I'm going to give you this example of client, right? Let's put client A. Her style consists of, it was like girly / ultra feminine. So the stuff that she liked was very feminine. Think extra flowers. Think long lengths of a flowy skirt. Think extra fur. Like just the things that would be like ultra girly. Okay? Ultra femme. Okay? Now, that was one component of what she liked. She also liked a clean look. Meaning she likes it girly, but she doesn't like a whole bunch of patterns and mixed prints and a lot of like loud or big shapes and things like that. She wants it to be more clean. So she might be someone who wears more solid colors and just kind of mixes the colors together. Or if there is some details, it might be like something more neutral, like an animal print, a subtle polka dot, a subtle flower, but nothing too loud, okay? Clean. What else did she have on the hair? She also had, let me remind myself. Also had effortless, okay? So when someone's style has some effortless notes, you know what that means? They don't like to look too perfect, right? They like their outfits to look a little bit more breezy, relaxed, not so suit and tie. Right? Not so stern and serious. Okay? Effortless in there. And then playful. Okay? This is someone's personal style. There has to be tension for it to be good. So you can get so many various flavors from the gumbo for it to hit. This is the component. So when we're talking about style, we want to get to the root of what you like. When I'm meeting with clients, within 15 minutes, I'm able to read their style. Because it's a science. It's just a science, honey. Okay? You're going to say, oh, Carla, I don't have a style. That's never been true. That has never been true. Some of you guys are very underexposed to your style. Maybe you grew up poor, you grew up strict, you grew up, in a lot of different environments that did not allow for you to try out styles. But within you, there's still things that you naturally like, okay? And so that gumbo is going to help you create your personal style. The people who have figured out the tension between these pieces have a closet that's to die for and outfits that are just to die for. What many of you guys are doing is, oh, I think that's kind of cute, and you're kind of copying one aesthetic, and the one aesthetic would never do it. Because this all together, there's no one aesthetic that will cover it. And that's how I know that we've locked into what her personal style is. It's got to be clean and effortless, somewhat approachable in that combination, yet girly and playful, right? So this is going to be something that feels like clean yet sweet, and like I'm a girl next door, but a little bit more playful about it, okay? So this is important for you to learn about your style. But if we don't think about these components, how are we going to elevate our style? Oh, what you're going to do is just go copy what you saw an influencer wear. Well, we're going to be back at square one in 3 months. Okay? We want to lock in to personal style. How can we do this? We can do this by starting to collect things on Pinterest. We can do this by starting to go on TikTok and looking up different fashion people and start saving them. And start analyzing what is the connection between all of the things that I'm pinning. That's exactly how I'm able to read people's things. I do a style test with them, and then I'm able to read, here are the patterns, here are the connections between all the things that you like. That means that that's actually what your taste is, style is, okay? So how do you get there? I need you to open up a Pinterest page, okay? If you haven't used it in a while, reopen it and start looking down alleyways of styles. You can even start here. Start using some of these adjectives. Playful women's style. And look in there, see if you like anything. If you don't like anything, move on to this. These are just things to get your ball moving. But then after that, start trying to put in other adjectives so that you don't just get stuck in one algorithm of a style. You want to be exposed to more. Because sometimes people will present things and it's like, it's all the same. It's all like a girl in jeans and a cute top, right? There's more things that you like. I promise you. You just haven't been exposed to it. So the first thing is we want to get you exposed to it. Okay? So in style, there's your personal style component. There's body type, right? Of course. Okay? And then I always put colors in there because that's important. Now, body type. You've got to figure out what your body type is. Okay? You've got to know what your body type is. Now, if you're using one of those measuring things, boo, we hate it. It's always wrong. Whenever people come to me and they bring me those things, I'm like, this is wrong. And this is why you think that you're that body type and it's wrong. Okay? Because they don't actually factor in your whole body. They just are going off measurements, which is not enough. Because what about your shoulders? What about if you have hip dips? You're not taking in all the components of your body and how it actually lays with the tape. Okay? So you want to know your body type. Now, in knowing your body type, you're going to mix that with your colors and your personal style. And that's going to help you get this down. And this will be a check. Okay? That'll be done. Any questions on that? Oh, I missed Rosie's update. I'm sorry, Rosie. I found a hairstyle that I like and likes me back, but it's time consuming. It's braids. I'm a slow braider. Okay, Rosie, you should have more than just one hairstyle that likes you back, right? Remember I said that you should have like a couple that you're easily able to rotate. So let's say you're saying it's braids. There's a certain aspect of those braids that work. That makes sense? So you need to make sure you know the hair notes, and then you'll have more options of things that you can do. So for instance, I'm someone who, my hair notes are going to be volume. I need like side part shaping, and I need colors that are either black or like warm and vibrant, like a nice warm honey blonde, right? Okay, cool. Now, or like a bright ginger. So I need those kind of colors. I could take those hair notes and apply it to braids. So just saying braids is not enough. Because that means when I go get braids, I need to make sure that my braids are not boneless. Because if I get boneless braids or if I get braids going straight back, I look stupid. Because I've ignored my hair notes, which is volume. So no matter what braids I get, they have to have bigger volume. No matter what braids I get, I need to have some kind of side part face framing. No matter what braids I get, I can't go too long. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about saying braids, curly, locks, straight. That's not hair notes. You're missing the rest. So when you get the rest, then you'll have more options and you won't be like, oh, I can only do braids. No, you actually have more. You just probably don't know what they are because you don't know your hair notes. Because hair notes are complex in terms of like being able to know the different things. Because sometimes you can get braids and maybe you get braids from somebody else and you let them do their thing. And you're like, I thought I looked good in braids. But you need to make sure that you keep the notes going, okay? Now, how do you find your body type? Okay, great. How do you find your body type? You are going to take a photo of yourself in something like biker shorts and a bra. Shorts and a bra, something like that. Shorts, whatever. As minimal clothing as you will allow for yourself. Okay, panties and bras, boxers, I don't care. And you are going to have both of your arms down. You're going to get a photo. Okay, and you're going to look to see where's your body even and where is it not. Wherever it's not is probably going to indicate what kind of body type you have. Okay? So there's 5 major body types. This part will be women specific. There's 5 major body types. Okay? Now, you've got your rectangle, your hourglass, your inverted triangle, which is wider on top. You've got your pear, which is wider on the bottom. And then you've got your apple, which is wider in the middle. Okay? So start with the photo and see where you balance and where you imbalance. That's going to be what you focus on. Okay? Beautiful. All right. Can your body type change? Your body type usually doesn't change unless one of the few things happen. You gain or lose like a significant amount of weight. Like let's say you're an apple and you lose like 80 pounds, you might not be an apple anymore. Because when you were 80 pounds heavier, maybe all that weight was in your stomach. And now that you've lost a lot of weight, the stomach is gone, and so that's gone. But for the most part, most people's body type do not change. Like if you're bottom heavy, if you're ever seen somebody who's bottom heavy, even if they gain weight, it doesn't change. But like the apple and the ruler body type just tend to change between themselves. Like they bounce between each other because they're all about the midsection. But if you're a pear, if you're an inverted triangle, most of the time yours never changes, just because of how drastic your body type is. So it really does take a lot for your body type to change. If you find like, oh, I gained 5 pounds or 10 pounds or lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds, the body type should not be changing at all. Again, the apple is the most susceptible to it. If you gain weight in certain parts of your body, like if you find like you gain a lot in your stomach and your top of your thighs, and then you lose weight, we see how that could kind of calm that down a little bit. Okay. But for the most part, it's not going to change. All right. Somebody said, is it a challenge? Is it a challenge? Is 60 days to attractive a challenge? Yes and no. I really want to say no. This really is supposed to be a lifestyle to get you to a 7. Ooh, I erased the 7. And then helping you maintain it. The reason I put 60 days to attractive is because I had a video that I was talking about this, and it went really viral, and people were asking for help and wanted tips, etc., etc. So I'm wanting people to get to what they say they want. I didn't really present a challenge. People stepped up and started saying, I want that. Tell me what to do. So here we are. Okay? Here we are. Alrighty, so this is where we are with style. Now, we've talked already about hair, and skin and makeup is next. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got. I want to talk about a little bit about skin and makeup. Because really, skin and makeup, babes, I'm going to be honest, we should have that one down. Maybe not the makeup, but the skin? Everybody should have that down. I feel like we're in such a big era for skincare right now. Am I right? Or is it maybe it's just maybe it's my algo. Maybe it's my algorithm. Okay, I will admit that. Maybe it's mine. Maybe it's me. Okay? Now, when it comes to skin, we are, if you cannot tell, everything here is organic. Now, if you are curious as to what I mean by organic and why I mentioned facial balancing earlier, is because a lot of times people will go to filler, and I'm not mad at filler. I just know, based on the research I've read, that filler does not leave the body as soon and as predictably as you'd like. And it's known to either migrate or puff up, which we see in celebrities happening all the time. So I'm very, very hesitant to push people to do that. I'm with all the others. I'm with Botox. I'm with micro needling. I'm with all the other things. You're telling me you can't actually take the filler out in the way that they say you can? According to research, you can go look it up. McGill University and a couple other universities are highly credible that have done the research to say like, guys, let's be a little wary about the filler and how it migrates and the fact that it doesn't really come out predictably. So let's say you get filler and you're like, oh, I don't want it. You go and you reduce something, but it's still there. And unfortunately, it being there still, it can still migrate. I don't love that for us. So we're going organic. No migrating, no puffiness, no weirdness later, right? Like nothing where you change your face drastically and now you're like, what the freak happened? We're leaning in, okay? Now, we need a day and a night. Who has a good daytime and a nighttime routine? I want to hear it. I want to hear who has a good daytime or a good nighttime routine. Anybody? I have a really good nighttime routine. I love my nighttime routine more because it's very spicy. What I mean by spicy is like we're switching it up every night. You know what I mean? I've newly added doing more red light masks. Again, very, very research backed. Can't get mad at that. Cannot get mad at some research, honey. You guys don't know, I went to school to study science. So I technically have a biology degree that I've never used. But that's another day. Now, that's why I'm always so big on the research and what does the data say, not just like what are the vibes. Okay? Now, daytime. We need at least 5 things. And it's not just about the number, it's about that every one of those actually has a role to play. Okay? In the evening, having 5 would also be great, but if you have a little bit less, depending on what you're doing, maybe you're masking more often, maybe you do a red light mask, like maybe you have other things that you do that you maybe aren't needing as many steps, that's also okay. Okay, so let's aim for like maybe 3 to 5 steps here. Right? Because at minimum, we know we're going to do a cleanser, some kind of serum, maybe some kind of moisturizer, maybe we're introducing a mask, maybe we're introducing a retinol. Like there's something that could be happening here. A couple of things. That's why I'm like, it could be a little bit less, especially for somebody like me who every night is kind of trying to address something different. Okay, I want to hear some of you guys' skincare things though. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, cleanser, rose water, niacinamide serum or hyaluronic serum, sunscreen. Oh, that's great. I love this. So we've got a cleanser. Then we've got rose water to really hydrate. Then we've got hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. Great. This is a great go in the morning. I love this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 here. I wouldn't be mad at an essence for you, but you know, something to think about. I love this. I love this. Okay. Now we got nighttime cleanser, retinol, serum, sleep. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's awesome. So even for you, Harajuku, if we had maybe some alternative things for other nights, right? So like maybe one night you're focused on the retinol because we're probably not doing the retinol every night, right? So maybe some other nights we're like got some other serums or we got some other hyper hydrating, or if you're addressing anything else about your skin, that could be a great way to go. Okay? I love this. I love this. What we want to see generally for the daytime or morning, whatever, right? We want to see a cleanser, of course. Okay? We'd love to see a toner. We'd love to see an essence. We'd love to see a serum. And we'd love to see an SPF. Okay? And some of these serums can kind of, you know, again, if you want to switch it up, maybe one week you're focusing on hyaluronic acid, you were niacinamide, whatever. Maybe the next day next week it's a vitamin C serum, whatever, right? Then we've got nighttime. We want to go back to cleanser, of course. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're not being too harsh with our cleansers. Okay, with our cleansers, one of these should be a little bit less harsh, or maybe both are, right? But sometimes we're stripping our skin too much, and it almost is like squeaky clean, and it can tend to like dry you out and make your skin a little more difficult to deal with. Okay, so we want cleanser. Then we know here we're kind of alternating for the rest. We got retinol, we've got serums, we got masks, we got red light, we got all these things, right? Then we kind of like mix it up. Okay, now this is for skin. It's important that I mention these because I think some people get lost with all of the things on TikTok. Again, every day or every few months, it's like there's a new hot thing, right? I remember when the snail mucin was hot. Remember when everyone was buying that? Like every few months is like a new thing that we need to be buying. And it can be overwhelming and you don't even know if you're doing them in the right order. Am I considering all the things I need? Am I just layering on tons of serums and I have nothing else? right? Like this is like a really good cheat code for someone who's just, again, trying to get some growth here, right? I love this for you. I love this for you guys. Okay, now, hello. Okay, let me see here. So, biology degree is awesome. Thank you. Yes, I want to try the most natural approach first and see about venturing out. Yes, to get to 7, you don't need to be doing all that stuff. If you want to start playing when you're trying to get to a 9 and 10 with some of the extras, you can. It doesn't guarantee that it's gonna make you get to that point, because again, there's a lot of range of what happens when we start touching certain things on our bodies, but it's not out of the ordinary to think that way. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Okay, great. So I'm seeing some questions here. What is the essence that I love? Ooh, hold on. It is called, let me see if I can remember. Heart of something? Heart of, what is it called? Heart of Essence? It's K-Beauty. So sometimes like the way they translate it, I'm like trying to remember what the name of it is. What is it called? It's like a, oh, that's what it is. The Mugwort Essence. And it's from Heart of something, I think. I'm from Mugwort Essence. Okay? I'm from Mugwort Essence. I don't know if you guys can see this one. Hold on. See that? It's like a brown, greenish kind of bottle. I would definitely suggest that. It's really just meant to be like super calming and soothing and hydrating for your skin. Almost like a next level before you get to serum. And I can totally tell the difference after I do the toner. Even though the toner that I use is calming, the essence has a different feel to it altogether. Okay, so that's the name of it. Sorry, guys. I was confused, I think, with something else. Mugwort Essence. Mugwort Essence. Okay, perfect. Now, if you don't have that in your routine, go ahead and grab that. That goes right here. After the toner is your essence. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Now, we talked a little bit about style. We talked about skin and makeup. I'm going to write out a little bit more about the hair, and then I'll take questions. And then we'll see where we're at, right? Because we're reaching close to an hour, babes. Reaching close to an hour. All right, so let me see. All right. So yeah, this week, guys, likely I will try to be back here on Thursday. No promises. I don't like to make any promises that I don't know if I can keep. I hate people who like say things and then like they're not doing it. So I hate to be in that position. So I don't tell you guys the other day because I actually am like doing fittings or style sessions or even virtual meetings with clients. So sometimes I don't know when that's actually going to end and when I'm going to get back home. Right. So no promises there. No promises, but Sundays, lock in. Okay. Now, so more details for the hair notes. So we need volume. You need to know what volume. I notice a lot that people, especially women, love big hair. But for some people, the big hair hates you. So, especially if you have a rounder face, like your face is more circular, and then you're doing like these big circular hairstyles. No, that's not balanced. That's not symmetry. We have to know what volume our face needs, okay? Next up, length. Again, the ideal is, in people's minds, especially women, is long as it can be, right? Longer the better. Long. They don't care how many inches. Give me more inches. I want more. I'm growing it out. I need this. But for some people, the length actually draws their face out and their face looks skinny and tired. And again, out of symmetry. Okay. Now, next is shaping. Okay. So this might have to do with getting things like bangs, how you part your hair, the shape in in which you cut your hair? Is it more linear, right? Is it layered? This is shaping. It has to do with shapes. Then we have color. Now, we know that color comes into play not only with hair, but style. You guys saw me write color on here because we always want to be picking a color that likes us back. Color analysis has gotten huge again over the past 5 years, which I love. I'm so excited about that because I've been doing it for over a decade and nobody cared about it at first, okay? Because it's from like the 80s and now it's back. But the reason why this is so important is this color component when it comes to hair, when it comes to even clothes that you wear, earrings, jewelry that you wear, lipstick colors, it adds something that no one can deny. You could be wearing a simple t-shirt, a simple spaghetti strap dress, a simple something. People are like, oh my gosh, you look so good in that. Because what happens, the science of a good color is that it lifts and brightens your skin. It lifts and brightens. So it looks like what happens when you have a selfie light right in front of you and you're about to take a picture. It looks like when you're well lit and the sun's coming in. It looks like you're fresher, more awakened. You just look better, right? And you can't fake that when you have a wrong color. So when we're thinking about what color we want to do, when people are just like, oh, I want to go blonde. First of all, let's decide if blonde likes you. Okay? Or else, all this effort that you're going to put into going blonde, you're going to regret in 3 months and you're going to be going back because you're going to look at yourself in photos, right? Because sometimes in the mirror, I think people look at themselves and they're like, oh, I look good. I think I look okay. I'm not sure, but it's pretty good. And then when you see yourself in the photo, you're like, wow, that's not good at all. No one told me. That's actually the truth. What you're looking at in the photo is closer to the truth in the mirror. In the mirror, you have almost like all of these emotional thoughts about it. Like you'll look in the mirror. I have a mirror right here. You look in the mirror and you'll be like, oh, I really like this outfit. Even though the outfit hates you, it's like, oh, I really like it. And or you'll see your hairstyle and you're like, oh, I really like the hair. But you're not thinking about like how it comes together until you see yourself in a photo, which somehow feels more disconnected from you emotionally. And you're like, that's what I look like? And everyone's like, yeah, we see you every day. You look just like that. And it's like, oh my gosh. Oh, this hair color was atrocious. But people are missing that and they're not seeing it till later. So these are components that could very easily be identified before you go and get your hair done. Before you go decide on what your go-tos are. You want to actually know what these components are to make your decision, not only now, but forever. If you want to know something that doesn't change, this does not change at all. So you ever see like some of those like older women who like they've been doing the same hairstyle for like 10 years, like they're locked in, but it always looks good on them. But they just get the same thing over and over. They don't care. They know it looks good. They're like, at least I got a hairstyle that looks good on me, honey. I don't have any time. They're like 70 years old. They're like, I don't have time to be playing around with hairstyles anymore. I know one that looks good on me, and I'm rocking out. Now, for those of us who maybe aren't 70, maybe we want to have more changing it up, right? So that's why I say having 2 to 3 go-tos is a nice little cheat code here, okay? I gave an example before of Tracee Ellis Ross. She's a great example of it. She does like 3 hairstyles. She has her braid she does, her fro, and a slick back ponytail. You don't think that Tracee Ellis Ross could go and do a zillion more hairstyles? First of all, she has a hair care line. Second of all, she call up any hairstylist right now. She could have anybody fly out and do whatever, right? But she's locked into hairstyles that all flatter her. That's what I want for you. So you'll have 2 to 3 go-tos and you'll rotate that. But guess what? You'll never get bored. Why? Your style is changing. I mean, your outfit. Your style's the same, but your outfit is changing like every day. And you're doing something great or fun or just maintaining skin and makeup. So if this is strong and this is strong and this is changing, you're still never going to get bored. I think that's when people get like worried about like, oh, I'm going to get bored. I mean, I guess you'll get bored if you wear a uniform like Steve Jobs. If you only do one of the 3 hairstyles and if you keep this really boring. Some people might like that. Most people I know won't. Okay? Most people I know will not. All right, great. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now, babes, we are coming on at an hour. Okay? If there are any last questions you guys have, this is the time because we're about to bow out of here. Okay? We're at an hour and 1 minute. So if we have anything else, please Now's the time. If not, if you're like, Carla, I'm going to lock in more, I'm not as far in my status update as I would like to be, sign up for an image audit. If you're in the middle, if you're somewhere lost about where you should be, but you've started tackling one or two, come back to the lives. If you're wanting this, but you're like, Carla, where do I even start? I'm late to the party. This is my first live. Yeah, just go ahead and sign up for an image audit so that we can get you right. So we can get you right. Tips on how to be able to maintain. Okay, great. That's a great question. I'm going to end on this. I'm going to end on this. When we're talking about maintenance, it's really about locking in first. Okay? It's kind of like if you've ever just been a gym girly or a workout or fitness person. In the beginning, you have a meal plan that they're giving you. And at first you're like, okay, asparagus, sweet potato, salmon. Like, you've got the list and you're like, okay, I'm doing it. And after like a month, you're like, oh yeah, this in the bowl. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to lock in to what works. Then after you've locked in, let's say 2 months, 3 months worth, then it starts to be like second nature. But the thing is, you think the maintenance is going to be hard because you've never done this. You've never locked in. What you've probably done, because this is what most people do, is you pop out every once in a while and then you fall off. Right? It's like the people who go to the gym. You go to the gym for 3 weeks and then you fall off. Because you're trying to make it something that's outside of you. It has to just be your lifestyle that we're implementing. So right now, if somebody was like, okay, Carla, how do I implement this? Well, I would say number one, do we have the skincare and makeup down? Are we getting that routine down? Yeah, I'm practicing right now. Okay, good. Because by the time you've practiced that for the remaining 60 days, that's going to be second nature. That's going to be nothing, right? Okay, next, hair notes. You got 2 to 3 styles, right? Yeah, I got my hair notes, Carla, and I have these 2 to 3 styles that I'm locked in and I'm going to rotate between. Okay, great. To make it even easier for yourself, you could say every 2 months or every 3 months, I'm going to switch it up to this style, whatever. So now you have your hair calendar for the whole year. Well, that's pretty much now on set it and forget it. Style. Well, if you know your body type and you've figured out your style and now you're building out outfits slowly, you see how it now becomes like a natural thing? But if you're looking at it from the outside and not tackling it the way I'm trying to tell you to do it, then yeah, it's going to feel like, how do I maintain it? How do I maintain it? No, you're actually supposed to lock it in as a lifestyle. So skin and makeup. It's just like you started brushing your teeth. After a while, you don't even think about it. You might have forgot that you brushed your teeth. You're like, oh yeah, I already brushed my teeth. My toothbrush is wet. Like, it's so second nature. That daytime routine should be so second nature. Your hair, it should be so second nature that you have a regular person that you go to or a regular hair schedule that you even have at home that you do. Because you only have the 2 to 3 hairstyles that you've perfected that look amazing on you. Right? Are we following? Okay? So we don't want to make it harder. We want to lock into a lifestyle. Because that's what's going to get you to a 7 that you can maintain and then grow from. If you only do this when when we're inspired, when we saw a picture of so-and-so over the weekend, yeah, of course you can't maintain it because you're not making it a habit. Lock into these 60 days and it becomes easier. Okay? Alrighty. That's it for tonight. Okay? That is it for tonight. Now, I will see you guys later on in the week. I will also see some of you guys in the image audits. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful. If you want to sign up for an image audit, looks like Sharon was asking, you're going to go to my page and click that link, and it says image audits. Okay? Image audits are available there. I will see you guys then. Toodles.